Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good night. I've got noon here on the East Coast. It is Wednesday, May 13th. For you folks keeping track at home, don't want to lose track of the days. It is Wednesday in the middle of this week. Got a fun show lined up for you today with some of my friends from the network organization. We've got Adam Koeppe, who's going to talk about how we're planning and building out things with the network, especially 5G. Gina Wilborn, who is has the responsibility of keeping our networks around the world going, and Ken Jack, who keeps the vehicles on the road and making sure that our folks can get here, there, and everywhere when they need to serve our customers. So, great reminder though, coming into today's up to speed of the network and how it does keep people going and why it is so important to do that. So, want to get some updates from the team before we go into Q&A. So we will go first with Adam. Adam, how's your team doing?
Hey, thanks, Jeremy. It's a thrill to be on this production. You and the team deserve a ton of credit for keeping us informed every day. So thank you all. Just a level set maybe on how the network teams are structured. Our planners take a look at our technology roadmaps, our standards, and future development. Then we coordinate the implementation and build of that technology with the engineering teams. And then once live, our operations teams keep it running for our customers. So later, you'll hear from Gina Wilborn and Ken Jack. Their teams play a vital role in keeping our networks up and running around the globe. So we'll hear from them in a few. It's been really quite busy this year, needless to say. So our team is 100% working from home and really doing just a phenomenal job managing the BAU work with crisis response. And personally, I couldn't be more proud of the way our team has been cranking through this and collaborating around the globe to get the work done. Just a couple examples of what we've been up to. We all talk and saw the incredible surge in voice traffic and when the work from home and the pandemic started. Our voice planning team sprung into action there to design new solutions and increase capacity for collaboration tools, voice interconnect with our partners in the industry, and even things like public calling lines for local unemployment offices in New York State and California. Tremendous partnership with engineering, operations, business unit teams, and our customers. And this group in particular really exemplified running to a crisis. So great work there. Our capital management and usage analytics teams, they've been working really closely with the business units to assess network traffic shifts. So we've heard Hans and Kyle talk a lot about how network is shifting across the network, the usage is shifting across the network, changes in handoffs across the network, and even things like price plan adjustments. So when we offer additional 15 gig worth of data to our customers, what's the impact of changes like that on the network? So that team's been cranking out the analytics for that and keeping up the normal schedule for capital planning, which doesn't end for this year and for next. And shifting over to our cloud and edge compute planners, they work really closely with our technology partners, so all of our suppliers around the globe, to ensure that the major projects we have teed up this year continue on track. We've gone kind of above and beyond to accommodate new access rules for locations. So if you think of the work we're doing on our MEC project, multi-access edge compute, there's a lot of physical work that still has to occur in our facilities. And this team has been able to work with our partners to keep that work on track, abide by the new access rules and local restrictions for work, and again, keep the edge compute program on track for 2020, which is another industry first for our customers. And finally, our wireless network planners, if you recall, we had some fallow spectrum that was sitting in the industry that we were able to put to use, mainly as a kind of a safety net, if you will, as we were watching the usage pattern shift on the wireless network. So they sprung into action there and worked really fast to get that deployed with our engineering and operations teams. And they've also worked seamlessly with business development to complete one spectrum auction already for millimeter wave, which just wrapped up earlier in the month. And now we're preparing for 2 more in 2020. So this mix of business as usual work and crisis response across the team has just been absolutely incredible. And I just want to give them the most sincere thanks possible.
Yeah, Adam, thanks for that update. The team doing so much, and we have some questions coming your way in a bit about 5G and the rumor that goes around out there about coronavirus, and as well as some about spectrum. If other folks have questions, you can go and shoot those to us at live@verizon.com. Email us the questions again. That's live@verizon.com. Next up, Gina Wilborn. Like I said, she is responsible for keeping networks, her and her team, up and running around the world. Gina, what's the latest with your team? How are they doing?
Good. Hi, Jeremy. Thanks, and I'm glad to be here on Up to Speed. Look, this has been a journey, and I think we're all learning a lot about ourselves. I mean, right before the pandemic, I recently sold my house and I'm in an apartment. So I've been in here by myself the entire time, and I have learned a lot about little Miss Gina Wilborn. Like, I know nothing about doing hair. I can't get my eyebrows together, my nails, like, I'm having like some serious issues, but I have become quite the cook. I am eating healthier, I'm exercising. And so there's some good that's coming of all of this. And I do think there's something happening at Verizon. I think I'm learning more about my team on a personal level, about my peers on a personal level. And I think there's a bond that's forming that's going to be unbreakable. And when this is over, I think there's going to be greatness that come from all of this. And so what has my team been up to? I have a team, a global team. We are in 2,600 cities. We're in 145 countries. We serve consumer and business customers all over the globe. And our job is to build and maintain a multi-purpose network that serve our customers and keep them connected. And so our alignment with Tammy's team and Ronan's team is so important during this time. One goal, one strategy. It's so much power in that. And so it's times like this that I think bring our teams together. And so when I think about my team, we get all kinds of requests from customers. So for an example, we got a call from the US Navy, right? They had a major cable cut and they lost connection to their data center. So our team in one day placed the cable, spliced the cable, and got that customer up and running. So shout out to our Hawaiian brothers and sisters. Great job. We have requests that are coming in from the government, right? And from even our sales teams, where they need us to stand up quarantine sites or, coverage for hospitals. Our network assurance team, they're deploying mobile assets or satellite solutions for our customers in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. And so, to be able to do that and connect our customers so quickly has been just refreshing to watch. And then when I think about, our teams, we're 24/7. And like Adam said, we are the team that's responsible to bring the network to life. So being able to support customers like FEMA and 911 and DHS, and the way that this team has rallied around it has been phenomenal. And so, when I think about this team, they never took their eye off the customer. We never stopped working, right? We just had to move a little differently. And so, it's phenomenal work that we're seeing. And I just, I'm so proud to lead this team through, such challenging times. And, I can't wait to see what they do next. Back at you, Jeremy.
Awesome, Gina. Thanks for that. And a lot of folks recognizing the real world as you called it out there at the beginning. So thanks for sharing that with everybody. And congratulations, I guess, on figuring those things out. We've got some more questions for Gina coming up here in a moment. Next, really want to shift gears over to Ken Jack, who leads our fleet operations team there, or here for the company. And Ken, talk to us about what your team has done to keep our technicians and the folks who need to be on the road still servicing our customers, keeping the trucks rolling.
Hey, first of all, thanks a lot, Jeremy, for having me on. Really excited to be here with some of my teammates. It has been nothing short of a really interesting time, to say the least. As a backdrop, we have one of the largest fleets. We're in the top 5 or top 10 largest private fleets in the country. And we really need all that equipment in order to be able to continue to serve our customers and to be able to deliver the best network possible. Besides all of our technicians and retail associates who have been doing an amazing job under the circumstances for the last couple of months, there are really a number of other teams behind the scenes also at Verizon that make sure that they have everything that they need in order to be able to deliver for our customers. And our partners in the global real estate team and environment, health and safety and security and logistics and supply chain, all of those folks help make it possible for everybody else to do what they need to do on behalf of our customers. We've got about 92% of our team that are still in our facilities, and we needed to keep as safe as possible while they repair equipment so that we can get out there for our customers. They've been true professionals. I really can't say enough to thank them for how hard they've worked to adjust to this new, I won't use the word normal, but adjust to these new circumstances and really maintain a high level of professionalism, performance, quality, safety. We have been able to have some folks work remotely, and they too have been real troopers in figuring out how to handle things that would normally be handled face to face. We work with a number of suppliers to get PPE, cleaning products. We work with our real estate teams, our EH&S folks, to make sure that we're deploying those materials and getting them out to who needs them. We've worked with, Kevin's team and Gina's teams in terms of how we're going to handle home garaging plans. We've adjusted our own staffing plans to be able to make sure that we can perform maintenance, that we can have as much space as possible around our teams. And we've worked to move a lot of work to by appointment or to schedule drop-off sort of settings. We moved a number of processes online a couple of years ago, and really not knowing that contactless would become the new buzzword in 2020. And we've heard from Ronan and Krista talk about the new norm in terms of retail and how we do things contactless. And we've really been thinking about that in terms of fleet maintenance, the services that go behind the vehicles. Often folks think about the day-to-day repairs, but what we don't always think about are the things that have to happen before a vehicle comes to Verizon and after a vehicle leaves from Verizon. So we've got engineers and folks that are working right now to figure out how to do virtual pre-delivery inspections with some of our suppliers that have factories across the country so that we can all keep each other safe. There's a number of things that we have to do behind the scenes with various state agencies, suppliers. We're working with a number of industry groups, and they've all been great partners in terms of sharing information and working with us to help us design new processes so that we can continue to give the services to our field teams as well as keep our own teams safe. I think the other thing, Gina touched on it a little bit. We always want to do a better job communicating with our employees. I'm really proud of the way that people on my team have stepped up to get the work done safely, to look out for each other, because this is stressful for everyone. And I'm thankful for the way they've stepped up to change the way that they do the work.
That's great, Ken, and I appreciate the team out there doing that as well. We saw there in the video how they came up with ways to keep the fleet, sanitized and operational. So good on that. We'll switch over to questions here in a moment. I see some here coming in. But before we do that, we're talking about the network today. So I wanted to share this story with you of one of our small business customers called the Pretty Pink Rooster. They're based in New Jersey, and how they have used our network, even though they have been, their location has been closed, but how they can use the power of our networks to still keep connected to their customers and still do business. Have a look.
The importance of technology in this new reality for me is, it's a non-negotiable. So without that connectivity, my business would not be functioning. The new day and age right now, I think for everybody, is definitely different. We're just taking it one day at a time, transitioning from a brick and mortar store into a full online store. So that connectivity through social media is enormous. I'm online every day at 10:30 to do my live videos. We do Pretty Pink Rooster TV on Instagram and Facebook. We do live feeds kind of really throughout the day as well through the stories. We utilize our technology to stay connected to my customers. They really are engaging, I think, a lot more to the live videos and that social interaction. And what we're offering, free shipping, we're doing free deliveries. We're still connecting with the personal FaceTime shopping that we've been doing for the past 2 years. And we are just trying to be there for our customers in any way that we can. Having my social media and the BIOS and my internet, I would not be where I'm at right now. So I'm extremely grateful for that. The advice to small businesses is we have to be consistent, do what you've been doing in the past. And if we need to change something, we have to just kind of be fluid at this moment. We have to know that some things may not work and we have to change it up to reroute and redirect.
I think those are words that we're all living by today, and good to see that the business is still going there for our friends at Pretty Pink Rooster. I want to jump into some questions now. Adam, starting with you, and I think what's top of mind and what we've seen from a lot of employees, these rumors around 5G and spreading coronavirus or even radio frequencies in general. What's the truth behind all of that?
Yeah, that's a great one to start with, Jeremy. Thanks. The summary of that is it's complete and utter rubbish. And the theory here that's being cascaded through the industry really globally is that 5G as a technology has some bearing on COVID-19 as a pandemic, and that couldn't be more false. In fact, the medical community and the technical community around the globe has basically described that as outrageous and absolutely and utterly rubbish. So there is absolutely no truth to that. Unfortunately, it's something we are having to deal with in various places around the globe as an industry. And if you're confronted by that in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to your leaders here in Verizon so we can get you any support you need there. But it's absolutely positively false, and there's no correlation between the two whatsoever.
Adam, thank you for that. I want to go to Gina for this next question. Obviously, we mentioned she's keeping networks up around the world. How do you continue to do that work to keep networks going? And then how are you working with, local exchange carriers that may not have the same sense of urgency that we do to get all this done?
I mean, when you think about operations, Jeremy, I mean, we are very accustomed to working crisis situation, but it has been nothing like, this pandemic. And it was very sobering for all of us. And so we knew very quickly that the role that we were going to play was very critical, and we had to move quickly. And the common thread first was, how do we keep our employees safe and how do we keep our customers connected? And so we have to change the way we operate, and there are a lot of great ideas that's coming out around that. And, I'll give you one example just recently. Normally what I would do pre-pandemic is do visits, and I would go to my teams and they would, we would do a site visit, and that team will showcase what's happening in their geography. Well, I was planning to go to the Kentucky Derby. So for obvious reasons, it was canceled. Well, guess what? The engineers figured out how to bring the Kentucky Derby to me. And so he used his Tech C goggles. He was in the stadium practicing social distancing. No one was there. And I was able to look around and see the whole stadium. And so I was so pumped and excited. I went and got my Kentucky Derby hat, and we had a good time, right? But the reason why I share that story is that this team is embracing a new way of working, a new way of doing business. And I can't wait to see what's coming next for some of the grassroots ideas that's coming from our employees. I mean, because it's in front of us, and I think there's so much more work that we're going to be doing here, and it's exciting.
Yeah, right now we're in the middle of our Build the Future Challenge, day 7 of that, 9 days to go. So I want to remind folks to either visit the street or VZ Web to get your business-related ideas in so that we can see what we can do for the future to keep the business going. Such a good reminder of that, Gina. Ken, want to go to this next one for you. And all the bad that's happening in the world that we hear about all the time, we also hear and see some good. Chris, take this slide for us here. We shared this note a few weeks ago, I can't remember how many, of one of our biggest fans out of Newton, Mass. Vindon is his name, wrote a nice letter because he saw the Verizon truck on the block. That's Jimmy Pang there from the operations team. Ken, tell me what we did for this big fan of Verizon.
It's been really challenging, Jeremy, under the conditions, to think about all the positive things that we want to do in society. And we've always been big around STEM and encouraging folks. And my engineer noticed on the letter that Vanden mentioned that he really, really liked the truck. And we're kind of on a conference call joking about it and saying, wouldn't it be great if we could get him his own little Verizon truck? And we were able to talk to one of our suppliers, and we had something custom made for him. So Vanden has the only one of its kind miniature Verizon truck, and it looks like he enjoys it So maybe we have a fleet engineer in the making there.
Yeah, that's great to see how we're making these things happen for folks, and looks pretty happy there with the truck. So good to see that you and the team were able to do that. Ken, how has this been for the team? What's been most challenging for them?
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. I think the obvious answer is that the physical distancing obviously affects the way that we work within our business, between business units, how the rest of the company, how we live our personal lives. But I would say the more complicated answer is that the most challenging thing is that there isn't only one challenging thing. It's that everything is happening at the same time. So the social distancing affects people. We're all anxious about our health, our safety, our families, everybody around us. It affects not only the day-to-day tasks that we kind of see all the time. We know we have to maintain vehicles and we know that that requires interaction. But what it really makes challenging is all those things that go on behind the scenes. We acquire equipment, we resell old equipment. All of those things are complicated. All of our dealings with various agencies are complicated by the fact that we can't, get together and do things face to face. We have things that we want to drive forward for the organization in terms of making things better, tools, training, systems, replacing equipment. All of those things start to compete for attention with all of the other distractions around us. So moving those things forward has been a challenge. But people have really stepped up. I think, like Gina said, people are really excited to find new ways to work. Folks are sending me suggestions for different tools and how we can collaborate better. So I'm positively upbeat about those things.
And thanks for that and everything you and the team are doing. Adam, I want to go to this one for you. I know some of the talk has been about Spectrum. What do we need to know about an upcoming Spectrum auction and what we should do as employees?
Yeah, so probably the most important thing is to remember that there's really only a couple handfuls of people that are involved in our Spectrum strategy for the company. And this is an unprecedented year with the FCC and their auction schedule. As I mentioned before, we just completed one auction for millimeter wave. We're in the middle of what's called a quiet period or an anti-collusion period for the second auction for 2020, which is for CBRS priority access licenses. And then there's a third auction targeted towards the end of the year for C-band spectrum. So the most important thing there for our employees, we're not able to discuss our spectrum strategy at all publicly or privately during these periods. So it's really important that if you find yourself in a conversation related to our spectrum strategy for whatever reason, you reach out to your manager for help because those are not conversations any of our employees should be engaged in right now. Any questions at all from our employees on that, just track me down and I'll be happy to help.
Yeah, Adam, thanks for that. I want to make sure we leave the talking to the folks who need to do the talking on that one. So good advice. And Gina, I want to wrap with you on this one. What's impressed you most about the team that you work with holistically or down to the individual level?
I think when you think about a team of nearly 5,000 and how quickly we moved from BAU to work from home or garage from home, we did it in days. And so it shocked me of how agile we really are. And so, but here's the kicker, Jeremy. In the middle of all of that, there were earthquakes, there were tornadoes, and we still kept our network running. We still kept our communities connected. We're still building the 5G network and the intelligent edge network. I mean, in the middle of this pandemic, we are running to the crisis, but we're still maintaining the legacy work that we have to do. So my opinion is our frontline leaders, our frontline employees, they are leading us through this crisis. And because of that, I salute them. Back to you, Jeremy.
Awesome, Gina. Thank you for that. And Adam, thanks for joining. Ken, thanks for joining. And I can't let this moment go by and not wish Gina and Adam a happy birthday or happy birthdays. They're celebrating this week. We'll leave it at that and hope they have good ones. I want to end on this today with a piece of thanks and a little glimmer of hope in everything that's going on. Chris, if you want to go ahead and take that slide. One of our fleet out there. This was in Rockland County, New York. Some of our field engineers caught this rainbow. You could say we're right in the middle of it, and I think that's a good representation for where we are as a society right now. So thanks to the folks for sending that in. Also want to look ahead to tonight. We had Andreas and Mike on with us yesterday talking about this, but the 32nd Annual National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund Candlelight Vigil tonight. You can join us virtually to respect and remember the fallen officers at 8 p.m. On buildseries.com or right through VZ Up to Speed on Twitter. And then looking ahead to tomorrow night, a lot of people like tuning in for this. Chance the Rapper is joining us on Pay It Forward Live. 8 p.m. Eastern. That'll be a fun show that you can watch on all of the various places. So I want to thank the team for joining me again, giving us all the great updates on the network. And like Gina and Adam and Ken said, a real tip of the hat to all of our folks out there keeping our customers connected. We'll be back with you tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Krista Bourne and one of our solution specialists from a store. So look forward to that. We'll be back with you then. Till next time, you're up to speed.